off. My stream hasn't caught up just yet, so... here we are. And we're off. Okay. So like I said, they're going to have random elevators, random starting location, and a random set of starting items. So we're probably going to see both these runners, check to see what items they have, and probably where their first elevator connects to. Okay, looks like we have the Varia suit right off the bat, as well as one energy tank. That is a Magmore elevator. And, yep. Or no, that was Main Plaza, rather, not Magmore. Now, that first item is a missile. That's no surprise. By logic, that basically has to be a missile for this location. Based off the way these runners are moving, it looks like they did not start with space jumps, so that's definitely going to be a big item on their list to find. It looks like both runners are opting to go check alcove, as well as the tunnel item next to the ship. Very reasonable, 2 items right off the bat, plus, as we've seen in the past, not checking what's next to the ship can lead to problems, so... Ooh, that was a very clean dash from Diggle. And it looks like a wave beam to start with. That is a very nice thing to find, but not... Depending on how the elevators turn out, that could either be incredibly useful right now, or not very. That is a missile. Ooh, Diggle missing his dash there. Yes. Just to reiterate what I said before, both these runners started with looks like 2 items to start with. Energy tank and Varia suit. There might be a 3rd item we haven't seen yet, because this preset does allow up to 3 items, but we don't have a way to know at the moment. Ooh, and finding gravity right away, that is very nice. I really figured it would be an interesting call to make here. Looks like we're getting an artifact check right away. Alright, Root Cave, Triclops Pit, Frost Cave, Magmore Workstation, Life Grove, and Security Access A. So, Vendrana, Talon, Magmore Mines is where they need to go. Now, depending on the elevators, that could either be a very easy set of artifacts to find, or it could be you have to go across half the world to get from one place to another. We know where we're on the elevator is. It connects to Chozo, yes, Chozo. But all elevator connections are randomized, so... Oop, I missed the elevator on Diggle's stream. I'm guessing Robo's going to check it in a moment. Based off the fact that Diggle is leaving the elevator, though, it is probably not useful at the moment. Chozo Ruins East. Okay. So, 2 Chozo elevators right off the bat. If I recall correctly, Chozo Ruins East is morph locked. So, I don't recall if East is where Ice is, or it is that one. Okay. Thank you, Interslice. Yeah, so they need Morphin Bombs to make use of that elevator. This is a very nice elevator to find early on, because it does give very easy access to late Chozo ruins. But for now, they can't use it, so... Right. Oop. I could not make out what is on the ledge there. I believe it was a missile, but we'll need to confirm. That is a missile. Ooh, I couldn't make out that one either. And there's their morph ball. Ooh, and they have boost. Okay, so we now know our 3 starting items. Energy tank, Varia suit, and boost ball. Very nice set of items to start with. Will be interesting to see if either of these runners take advantage of some of the boost strats to skip morph ball bombs. Because there are a few of those in Chozo Ruins. Magmore Caverns. Alright, that's a pretty vanilla elevator. Now, they do have access to that elevator, but it is a pretty risky move at the moment, because as Chozo has a very large number of items relative to Magmore, so it's a very difficult question of, do I go to Magmore right away, or do I wait, for sure. No, Brawler, I suppose I haven't seen any seats today. Did we have another, cursed setup again? Ooh. Space jump is a very nice thing to find. I'm sure Diggle is very happy to have that right now. Looks like Diggle is attempting to do a dash off of the lights and having some difficulty. He's going for a backup climb instead. Tower of Light check. I believe logically this is not open because you need space, or not space jump, but spider ball rather. But given the skill of both these runners, it is not surprising that they have, or that Diggle has decided to check this now. Now, roboscout should have seen his space jump there. I'm not sure why. Oh, has he not checked for boost ball? Oh no. Oh, that is not good. Hopefully he figures that out soon. Otherwise he's going to be in trouble here. Diggle successfully climbing this tower the second time around. Very nice. Just finding a couple of missiles though. Alright, so it'll be interesting to see what Diggle decides to do here. Now he has space jump, so Magmore might look a lot nicer for him now than it did before. But he might also just go into later Chozo, which it looks like that's what he's opting to do here. Looks like he was just double checking to make sure he knew all of his items there. Oop. Oh. Checking for super missiles. That's fair. Yeah. Checking what items you have with this setup is very important. So even though we knew he had all 3 of his items already, if you're not sure, it is perfectly reasonable just to check, because otherwise you'll have a situation like Robo's in at the moment, where you have the item you need to get something important, but you don't know that yet. It's like Diggle and Robo are about to high five here. Kind of. A little bit. Robo turning around. He should hopefully figure out that he has something he needs at the moment, because he's essentially out of item checks at the moment, as far as logic is concerned. So hopefully he won't be stuck for too long here. And Diggle grabbing that main power bomb. That's going to be very nice for him to have. I suppose Robo can go into Magmor right now. Yes, that is true. And by the looks of things, that is what he's opting to do. It is random elevators, but there is a Magmor elevator at the Magmor, or vanilla Magmor location. It is Twin Fires instead of Lava Lake, but for all intents and purposes, it is a vanilla elevator. By logic, there is 1 item he can check at the moment. So, while it is going to be a bit of a detour, and he will probably figure out that he has something he doesn't know he has within the next couple of minutes, it is going to be an unfortunate detour to come back and get Space Jump. Diggle finding the ever-important Flamethrower. Very nice. Obviously the most powerful weapon. Yes, they both have the same seed, same rule set, same everything. The only thing is, Robo has not checked for Boost Ball, so he does not know that he has it. Alright, looks like Diggle is coming to check Magma Pool. Logically, this is not open yet, but given what Diggle is capable of, he's going to just very simply cross this room without Grapple Beam. Very nice, very nice. So this gives him 2 items he can grab and 1 item he can check in Training Chamber. So this is a very nice 3-item check for him to do before he probably heads to Magmor. I believe that was a missile, so... Alright, and Robo inside of Magmor itself. Oof, taking a little bit of a bath there. That hurts a bit. Alright, what is up on the railing? I believe that was a visor? Uh-oh. Okay. Robo's health looking a little dangerous, considering the magma pools, but should be okay. They need... Bare minimum, both runners need 1 missile expansion in order to open missile doors, but beyond that, how many missiles and energy tanks they have is completely at the runner's discretion. Ooh. Robo playing a very dangerous game with these turrets. Ooh. Looks like he made it through just fine, though. Ah. Diggle cleaning up a couple of the Chozo checks before heading off to wherever he decides to go next. So, Frigate is not open yet, but there is the item in Frigate Crash Site he can check right now. So, it looks like Diggle is opting to go to Magmor, which is perfectly reasonable. Magmor is going to have a lot more potentially open to him at the moment. Yeah, So, Prime 1's drop table is actually pretty interesting. It's basically... To explain it simply, it's basically set per room. More so per area most of the time. Each area has a set percentage, generally for each item. And it's not really set on, like, what you have, like Echoes is. It is just straight, like, what is the percentage of getting a missile drop? What is the percentage of getting a health drop? Something like... such and so forth. There are a couple enemies which have their own individually set percentages, such as a couple of the enemies in Talon Overworld, which will always drop a power bomb. Or I believe there are a couple other examples, although they escape. Or any specific ones escape my mind at the moment. Looks like roboscout is a little confused on what to do here. He still hasn't figured out that he has boost ball yet. So I imagine he's trying to figure out where he hasn't checked yet to get that space jump. Meanwhile, Diggle climbing up the tower here. Looks like he's going to check Warrior Shrine. Ooh, taking a bit of a dip, though. Now, because Diggle does not have bombs... Ooh, taking another fall. Yes, I believe Robo did see Space Jump, but because he hasn't... Oh, there we go. Robo has figured out he has Boost Ball, so he's probably making a straight B-way over to Space Jump, I imagine. Hopefully he also goes back for that main Power Bomb pickup, because that seems to be fairly important at the moment. Ooh, Diggle finding his Ice Beam. That does almost open up Frigate. I believe the logic dictates that Frigate requires Thermal Visor, but of course for Diggle that's not really necessary. So Frigate is an option, no, for sure. But looks like Diggle's grabbing his artifact and Cyclops it first. We are still on the search for bombs. Now, because of the randomized elevators, bombs could either be very important or not important at all. Or at least, it depends. We know where one of the bomb-locked elevators is. Lava Lake bombs? Maybe. Oh, yes. So, since someone in the chat just brought it up, I'll explain it one more time. This rule set uses the Randomizer Discord's weekly race rule sets. This particular one sets starting location to be random, elevator connections to be random, and gives you anywhere from 1 to 3 random starting items. In this case, we started with Varia, one energy tank, and Boost Ball. Alright. Robo has... Speaking of Boost Ball, Robo has now grabbed his Space Jump and is clearing out Chozo checks now. So, he's going to be retracing a lot of Diggle steps here, I'm sure, for the next few minutes. Oh, that was not a visor, that was a Power Bomb expansion. Okay. Yes, Eban. It is, if you want to think about it that way, it is sort of similar. Obviously, the elevators only exist in a few spots, but the areas they lead to are completely different. So. We don't have the capability of randomizing every single room in the game yet, but for right now the elevators do plenty of fun on their own, so. Oh, my apologies, Good Bean. I completely misread your name. I've got the video open in one screen and the chat open in the other, so I have to glance between the two. Alright, it looks like Diggle is heading back to Talon. I believe if I've been keeping track of their routing correctly, the frigate area is the only place with items in logic at the moment. Yeah, it would be pretty cursed. I believe there's one in the works for Echoes, but I don't believe anyone is working on a room randomizer for Prime at the moment. Now, Diggle had the option to go into late Magmore, but none of that would have been in Logics, so this is a very reasonable play to go back to Talon instead. It is indeed a thing. Thank you for confirming. Okay, I was just about to say, I'm surprised Diggle's not attempting this. Diggle is going to do the dash to get up to the root cave area. Okay, so Diggle's going to check this item for sure. He might also opt to check root cave itself. Ooh. Grabbing that artifact, I forgot that was there. And it looks like he is going to check root cave itself. Now this is a... he fell. Well, we'll see if he goes back up there. There is a risk, because he does not have bombs, that he could soft lock while being outside of bounds. So if he opts to not go back, that is perfectly understandable. Not exactly root tours. To beat the game, you need to find all 6 artifacts, all 3 beams, and Phazon suit. There is an option in this version of the randomizer to remove the final bosses, or remove Prime, rather, so you don't need all 3 beams anymore. But that is not an option that is activated on this rule set, so they will need to find all 3 beams in order to beat Metroid Prime. Alright, Diggle grabbing the item in the water. Ooh, was that Spider? Yes, it was Spider. Okay. That opens up a few more things in Chozo. So we'll see if Frigate opts, tripping over my words here. We'll see if Diggle opts to go into Frigate or go straight back into Chozo. At the moment, the interior of Frigate is not in logic, as I said before, because of not having thermal. Alright. Looks like Diggle is going to check this item, and also probably the elevator as well. Yep. So he's going to see what his option is here. You're right. Big card. Ooh, main quarry. There are a few items he could get there right now. Anyways, you are right, Big card. That also does put Light Magmore into logic. So we'll see if Diggle decides to go there or not just yet. And Quark, so X-ray is only required if the Omega Pirate is required. We don't know if it is yet or not. It depends on it if it has Phazon suit at this point. If Omega Pirate is not required, it is just a very, very nice thing to have for the Metroid Prime fight. Yes, sort of, Rutor. There are hints to, or there are hints that will tell you where all 6 artifacts are located, and if an artifact is located either in Omega Pirate's room or in the room directly after that, we know that the Omega Pirate is required. None of the artifacts are in either of those locations, so at the moment, we do not know if the Omega Pirate is required. At this point, I think I had said before, that would only be the case if Omega Pirate had Phazon suit. Alright. So Diggle returning with his newly found Spider Ball. See what he decides to do with that. Meanwhile, looks like roboscout is has found his power bomb and is working on finishing up a few more clamps. So Rutors, in the randomizer, you can change the number of artifacts required. For this rule set and for most of the other tournament rule sets, it is reduced to 6. Just to make the seeds much faster. Looks like Diggle checking the upper dynamo item. And he finds his bombs. Okay. That opens a lot of things for Diggle now, because it now gives him late Chozo access. Frost Cave, Magma Workstation, Life Grove, Security Access A. So Diggle can actually get, I believe, almost all of... Or actually, no. They haven't found Phendrana access yet, but Diggle has all of the items he needs to find all 6 of his artifacts now. So, Diggle is on the search for Phendrana access and Plasma and Phazon suit. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Diggle didn't go into Quarry to grab that artifact, but given the limited access to mines that you have without bombs, at least from that end, I can see why Diggle would opt to come back later. Alright. Diggle opting to just finish all of Chozo by the looks of it before going anywhere else. He does have direct access back to Talon if he decides to go back that way, so this decision is very nice for his routing if that's what he's planning on doing. Oh, to answer your question, Quirk, floaty jump is allowed, but given how time-consuming it is to set it up, as it requires that you fight Flagra, and also not have gravity suit, I would not expect to see it in this particular race. Especially since both these runners would have to reset to actually be able to use it. No, Rutors, you cannot cheese this fight. It is hard set to... the damage is hard set to Zoid only. The nest above Zoid is only for show. Oh, no worries, Quirk. I speedrun this game, so if anyone ever... You guys can ask me basically anything, and I can answer it for you, so... Anything about this game, pretty much, yeah. Alright. Ah, you did ask anything. Fair enough. Alright. Roboscout has found his spider ball, so he should be on track to find his bombs before too long here. Meanwhile, Diggle is continuing through the rest of Chozo. See if he finds anything of interest here. And that looks like a missile. Okay. It's a very annoying item to get, so it is very nice that we won't have to deal with that. That is also a missile. That is another item that Diggle could grab right now, but is also decently annoying to get, so... Alright, so Diggle coming up to the Chozo Ghost fight. What we're going to be seeing here is Diggle is going to attempt to stun lock the ghost by shooting it just as it attempts to move to another location. Robo finding his bombs, that's good. Diggle missing the first stun, but see if he gets one in the second attempt here. Ooh, a little early once again. Oh, no, never mind, he did get it. Ooh, but he went into the wall, so he couldn't finish it off. Unfortunate. Still taking care of that ghost pretty cleanly, all things considered, though, so... But to explain how the stun lock works, basically, the ghost's AI works off a flowchart of actions, and if you interrupt that flowchart by shooting it, just as it attempts to move, the ghost basically forgets what it was attempting to do and stays in a damageable state. And if you just keep shooting charge shots at it, it will never get an opportunity to move to another location. So you can take care of it very quickly. Finding just another missile. Alright, looks like roboscout is hot on the heels of Diggle here. And Diggle opting to do the bomb jump instead of just using his wave beam. But getting it on the first try. Dang. Don't let that fool you. That is a difficult bomb jump to do. And if you mess up the timing, you are likely to fall back down to the main floor. So, that was very, very clean of Diggle there. And as well, we already know where that elevator leads, so Diggle is going to be checking this one before moving on, I'm sure. Great Tree Hall. I'm a little surprised Diggle is turning around here, considering he knows one of his artifacts is in Life Grove. But perhaps Diggle has an idea of what he wants to do. Oop. Looks like he has reconsidered. Perhaps. He has reconsidered the reconsider, okay. Maybe. I could see that. keeping track of all of the new elevator locations versus what you expect it to be is a very difficult thing to do, so... Oop. And it looks like you were right, Inner Slice. That is exactly what... Diggle was just double-checking where that elevator went before presumably going to Life Grove here. This also does give Diggle access to the back of the frigate, so we'll see if Diggle decides to take advantage of that or not. He does only have access to 2 of the 3 items in frigate, so he may decide that it is not worth his time to check any of them for right now. Oop. I can't tell if that was accidental or intentional. Looks like it was accidental. Almost, Brawler. There is one more elevator, which we know cannot lead into Chozo. So, the upper Great Tree Hall elevator, which Diggle is right next to, leads to somewhere new. Oop. Diggle falling down the spider track there. It is... Standing on the spider track's a little difficult as the spider track itself is fairly thin, so you're liable to slip off once or twice. Oop. Life Grove Tunnel once again proving why it is the worst room in this entire game. We have tools to look at the collision of this room. We have stared at this half pipe. It has nothing about it that would eat everyone's momentum like it does. It just does because it feels like it. It's a very vanilla artifact as well. Oop. And Life Grove Tunnel giving Diggle a little love tap at the end there, not letting him escape right away. Just to say goodbye. Alright, and this leads to Lava Lake, which Diggle is going to opt to take. Meanwhile, roboscout still on the trails of Diggle here. Looks like he is getting to the bomb slot. And indeed, we still do not have Phendrana access. But, given the elevators that are left, there must be a Phendrana elevator at Magmore Workstation. So that is likely where Diggle is going to be heading next. Whether he goes into Phendrana first or Mines first, because that must be the other elevator if I've been keeping track of this correctly. We'll have to see. Ooh, and finding super missiles. Turning around. Okay. That is not what I expected him to do. Looks like Robo is on his way to reaching Life Grove, so... Still on the trails of Diggle here. Looks like they're going to be following each other for a while. Supers does open a few things, and as you said, Inner Slice, this does give him access to all of the frigate items, so that Diggle might be heading that direction. Oh, Robo never found his Ice Beam. Oh no. That was all the way in Magmor, wasn't it? That's... oof. That is unfortunate. Robo's going to have to make a big backtrack to get to Life Grove now. Although, no, he can just go through Lava Lake, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Just an unfortunate extra bit of routing he's going to have to do. Of course, he also doesn't know that the lava elevator leads to directly where he wants to go, so he might opt to come back this way anyways. We'll have to see. He does have to pick up the artifact in Triclops, so it might work out for him, but still unfortunate that he's going to have to make a little bit of a backtrack later on. Diggle just finding an energy tank in Hydro Access Tunnel. Looks like Robo is going to check the Root Cave item set first before doing anything else. He does have bombs, so he might opt to do the out-of-bounds check. It would be much safer for him than it would have been for Diggle, since he still has a risk of getting stuck out of bounds, but the risk of that is much lowered compared to not having bombs. It looks like that is what he is opting to do. Diggle deciding to kill the security turrets there. As fair enough, those can be annoying at times. Oop. I'm not sure what Robo is waiting for here. He should just have... He just needs to walk backwards into the room and it will load around him. There it goes. And just a missile. Robo might not be aware of how that room loading works, so... Oh, and Diggle finding Plasma Beam in frigates. That... oof. Okay. That is a big thing to find there. Diggle is essentially on the hunt for Phazon suit now. Given the item set that it has... given the item set that he has, it can be in anywhere except Phazon Mining Tunnel. So he has a lot of ground to cover in order to find it. There's still the opportunity for Omega Pirate to have Phazon. That is perfectly possible at this moment. Also, neither of these runners have found either of their visors, so Diggle is likely on the hunt for those as well, as finding Essence without any visors is annoying, to say the least. Diggle opting to not go into main quarry. A little bit interesting. Actually, Viscar, due to the way the elevators are set up, there must be a Phendrana elevator leading to mines, and a mines elevator, and a Phendrana elevator leading to Magmor. I believe, with what remains. There are 3 Magmor elevators I believe we have not seen yet. Phendrana only has 2 elevators. And so does Mines. I think I'm keeping track of this correctly. So due to the way that all the connections work out, all three of them have to be connected together in some way. Alright, Diggle checking his root cave again. Since he didn't do it successfully the first time, oop, taking another big tumble, unfortunately. And roboscout back in Magmore, so he should find his ice beam relatively quickly here. And then hopefully he heads his way into Life Grove from there, so... Yeah, I can't talk all of a sudden. Hopefully he heads towards Lava Lake from there so he can get his super missiles and then his plasma beam. After he hopefully goes into Frigate as well. But given that he has bombs and will have Ice Beam, presumably, he might opt to not go that direction. So it's still a big question mark as to what he's going to decide to do here. Ooh, unfortunately... Oop. I was about to say, looks like Robo's heading towards Triclops Pit first, but looks like he's actually going to be attempting the climb up to Warrior Shrine first. So he will find his Ice Beam in a moment here. We'll see what he decides to do with it. Diggle finding a missile inside of the tree. And Robo has obtained his Ice Beam. As long as he doesn't fall into the hole. Okay. Alright. And it looks like he's likely heading towards Triclops Pit. Either that or he's going to go check the elevator. He's going to check the elevator first. Okay. So we'll get to see what this elevator is, but hopefully he turns around and heads back towards Triclops Pit after checking this. Since we know that all of the things he needs are in that direction. Just a missile and transport access. And there's the other mines elevator. Which actually means both Svendrana elevators are in Magma Workstation. Which is fortunate for Diggle as he needs to go that direction anyways. But that is a very distant Svendrana from everything else. For sure. Alright, RoboScout indeed turns around after checking that elevator. He should get his artifact in a moment here, and then hopefully he goes to find his super missiles. PPC was in that Fendrana elevator, Inner Slice. Or the vanilla Fendrana location. Looks like RoboScout looking for the invisible platforms, finds them pretty easily. Right. And he does indeed head towards Lava Lake. So hopefully Robo is on the track to get the things that he needs to be in a good position here. Whether he'll be able to catch up at Diggle, or catch up to Diggle by this point, it might be a little difficult. Diggle is a very consistent, very good player. But if RoboScout's able to find Phazon suit before Diggle, there might still be a pretty good chance for him to pull ahead here. Diggle about to find his PPC access. See if he decides to dip into mines now, or if he goes to Workstation first. Looks like he is indeed opting to go to workstation. Alright, roboscout is going to Life Grove. This is very good for him, because it does put him on the path to finding his plasma beam. As long as he goes to Frigate first. Or before he goes to the Chozo elevator. Now, he doesn't know that it's a Chozo elevator yet, but he has grabbed all of the items that are over there. So hopefully that kind of pushes him in the direction of heading into Frigate instead of going back to Chozo. Ooh, looks like Diggle is opting to check plasma processing. This is a bit of a long check and isn't technically in logic because Diggle does not have grapple beam. But given that he already has his plasma beam, there is no reason that Phazon suit couldn't be here, theoretically. So this is definitely a good check to get out of the way, given this situation. Ooh. Diggle not raising the third platform here. That's a little interesting. Ooh. Almost falling down. Looks like he's pretty good at making that recovery, though. Very nice from Diggle. And roboscout grabbing his, I believe somebody said, French vanilla artifact here. Just a missile. And that jump he did, that was actually a bit of a slope jump off of that spider track. That is not the easiest slope jump to do in the world, so that was very nicely done from Diggle there. Alright, we already know it's here, so Diggle's just going to get these pirates out of the way, grab his artifact, and I assume head into Fendrana, since that's all he can do over here. It is going to be a little bit of a trek to get back to mines, so we'll see if maybe that comes into play at all. Ooh. Unfortunately, Robo opting to go back to Chozo instead of going into Frigate. We'll see how long it takes him to turn back around and head that direction to find his plasma beam here. Robo... Ooh, actually, he didn't take the Chozo elevator. He took the Magmore elevator. So he's likely opting to either. He might be opting to go into mines here. He does have almost everything he needs to get into mines. So this isn't a bad play. It's just unfortunate that we know it's not the play he needs to make here. Frigate is... Let it be known, this is not a bad decision by any stretch of the word. Frigate is a very difficult thing to decide to go into. It is a... Despite how small it is, and the fact that there are 3 items, it is a decent time sink most of the time. So it is perfectly understandable why Robo does not want to go there just yet. So this is by no means a bad decision by Robo. It is just unfortunately the wrong decision as a result of what the randomizer spat out this time around. Robo probably going into Magma Workstation here, by the looks of things. Actually, Viscar, logically, all of Frigate is thermal locked. There was a change made to Frigate so that you could do it in reverse without needing... Yes, it is. To go through the front of Frigate, all 3 items need thermal visor. There was a change made to the game in one of the more recent Randomizer versions that allows you to go through it backwards, which you couldn't do in the vanilla game. Ooh, Diggle opting to fight Thardus. That's an interesting play. Yeah. In the vanilla game, the first large door in Frigate is thermal locked from both sides, which is what prevents you from being able to go through backwards. Like I just said, that's changed in the randomizer here. This is an interesting play from Diggle. At this point, he's just looking for Phazon, so he's just banging out everything along the way. So that this makes sense from his perspective. It's always an interesting choice choosing to fight the bosses, because they are very time consuming. Yes. I lost my train of thought for a second. Also, somebody asked where thermal could be. At this point, unless Flagra has thermal, it either has to be in Mines or in Phendrana. Because I believe across both the runners, they have checked essentially every other item. I couldn't read what Diggle just spelled there. He spelled something. Was it DCR? Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Ooh, Robo taking an unfortunate dip in the lava there. The ledge you have to stand on to get up there without using Spider is incredibly thin, so it's very hard to recover if you don't make it up to the square pegs the first time around. Ooh, very nice snipes from Diggle there as well. Oop. And that's something that Thardus can do if you snipe him. He doesn't do his little charging animation for when he starts to roll, so he just kind of rams you in the face all of a sudden. He doesn't always do it though, which is why he kind of looked like he kind of caught Diggle off guard there. So they just kind of, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Robo going for a second attempt on the jump there. Making up to the peg, that's very nice. Oop. Interesting that Robo decided to check this without Plasma, but if it was Phazon, that would rule out needing to go to lower mines. So that is still a pretty decent check, despite the fact he couldn't grab it right now. Alright. Diggle finishing up his Thardus fight, see if that pays out for him or not. And it is just a power bomb. Not the worst thing in the world. Having more power bombs is always nice, but obviously not what Diggle was hoping for here. And we're likely to see Diggle just full clear all the Phendrana here, and then head down into Mines if he doesn't find his Phazon suit. Meanwhile, Robo on the way to get his 4th artifact. I believe that is a power bomb expansion in the ice there. It didn't look like a missile at the very least. Ooh, Diggle taking a bit of a fall. These two tall rooms in Phendrana are notorious for how far you fall down, so... So not checking the item, but falling all the way down, unfortunately. That Metroid's gonna cause him problems. I'm guessing Diggle's going to use the cutscene to look at the item in the ice here. Although it's interesting that he didn't just check it while he was all the way down there, but oh well. Oh, that's right, Frost Cave. He already knew what it was. Never mind, that makes sense. Right. Looks like Robo is just bound and determined to follow Diggle over the course of this race here, because he's also making the play into Phendrana. So, see if Phazon ends up being here or not. So, if any of you are wondering why Diggle waited to charge a plasma beam shot there, it's because you can shoot the door. Oh, Diggle taking a pretty sizable fall there, but you can shoot that plasma door through the rock using a charged plasma shot, which lets the door open as soon as the rock is destroyed. So that's a strat from the speedruns that Diggle just used there. Ah, there's Thermal. And Robo checked Gravity Chamber, but I had unfortunately missed what the items were as I was checking what Diggle was doing. Although Diggle is about to check Gravity Chamber himself, so... yeah. Actually, Gallop, I don't believe Grapple is logically required because you can get into Frigate without it. In fact, it shouldn't be logically required. Because even in the vanilla game, you're supposed to go into Frigate before you get Grapple Beam. Also, yeah, let me just point out, the route for this seed wanted you to dip into late Phendrana before going all the way back to Talon, through all of Magmoor, to go into Frigate to get your Plasma Beam. Like, that's a bit rough. Alright. Robo about to grab his Thermal. Hopefully, that pushes him in the direction of Frigate. Unfortunately, he's probably going to check the rest of Phendrana before he goes anywhere else. So we're not likely to see him head that direction for a while. Alright, looks like just a missile and Rage Search Core. Or is that an energy tank? That is an energy tank, okay. The color kind of obscured the model for a moment there. Alright, Robo grabbing his artifact in Frost Cave. I believe the only artifact remaining is in Mines itself, so at this point it is just what's left in Phendrana and how far into Mines am I going to have to go. Okay, I didn't see what was in the tank in the lower section of that room, but it must not have been something important. Yeah. The only upset that could happen at the moment is if either of Flagra's items were phase-on suit. Otherwise, the seeds kind of run down to a pretty straight shot. Although OP could still have... Ooh. We could see a situation where Flagra has X-Ray, and then OP has phase-on suit. That could be an interesting little situation we run into. Alternatively, we could see Diggle find his X-Ray somewhere between now and the lower mines, opt to go fight OP, not find phase-on suit, and then find out that Flagra had phase-on suit anyways. So there's still plenty of possibility for a lot of troll here. Looks like just a couple of missiles in the research room there. Alright, Diggle killing off the pirates and observatory here before moving on to the rest of labs. Roboscout once again hot on his trail. I'll say Robo has done a fantastic job of keeping up with Diggle, despite the few minutes he spent not realizing he had boost ball right at the beginning. Like, Robo has done a very, very good job. It's just unfortunate that Diggle found his plasma beam where he did. Ooh. Oop. Pirate causing Diggle a little bit of grief there, but ooh, Diggle finding his grapple beam. That pirate was not T-posing. That is the Space Pirate idle state, which all Space Pirates do when not given an animation to play. Ideally, you're not supposed to see it, but obviously we're doing a lot of things the developers never intended. And there's the X-ray visor. So, OP is now logically open. We'll see if that comes into play or not. But yeah, as I was saying before, that is the idle animation. That's not a T-pose. You're not supposed to see that, but because we're coming through this labs backwards, obviously you're going to see things you're not supposed to. Yeah, X-ray was plasma locked. So, okay, here's what the logic wanted you to do. I'm just going to point this out. It wanted you to run around Chozo, Talon, and Magmore, grabbing all your stuff. It wanted you to go all the way to Magmore Workstation, go into Phendrana, get Thermal Visor, come back to Frigate, get Plasma Beam, go all the way back to Phendrana, and get X-ray. Now, we'll see if X-ray actually matters or not, but just the fact that that was the route laid out to get all the major items, this was not a very nice seed. Alright, just a missile in the phazon, or not phazon, plasma item there. Diggle going to check Chapel of the Elders. Fun fact, you can actually boost underneath the... looks like that's just a missile. You can actually boost underneath those pillars as they're falling down after breaking the blocks underneath them, if you time it perfectly. It saves 1 second over just bombing the pillars and going through it normally. Is also incredibly specific on the timing, so it's not a very easy thing to do. Alright, looks like Diggle is opting to check Ice Ruins West before checking the item in the Ice Pillar. Just another energy tank. Diggle's opting not to grab that one. Alright, nothing of value in Ice Ruins West there, unfortunately, but Diggle's got one last item in Phendrana, and then he's going to head straight into mines, I'm sure. And just another missile. Okay. So that means we either have Phazon in mines or Phazon on Flagra. My hope's on Phazon on Flagra, personally, but we'll see what the seed gave us here. Oh, did I have the two mixed up? I think I might have Ice Ruins West. Okay. I guess I'm cosplaying as Patrick here. I think I mixed up Ice Ruins East and Ice Ruins West. It's the other way around. Ice Ruins... The room Robo just left is Ice Ruins East, not West. Alright. Robo just about to finish up his Phendrana cleanup, and then we'll go from there. Meanwhile, Diggle heading through Magmore. I believe he should go into mines here, but he might opt to go check Flagra, I don't know. It is something he could do right now, as he is going to pass through the Talon elevator. That's right next to Chozo. Or right next to the elevator that leads to Chozo, rather. So. Alright. He is indeed opting to go into mines by the looks of things. So, if Phazon is on Flagra and Robo opts to fight him first, this could still go in Robo's favor, but Robo is going to have to beeline to Frigate in order to find his Plasma Beam, if that's going to happen. Although if that does happen, he also does have a direct access to the front of mines, which is where his last artifact is. So this still could turn out to be a very interesting end to this seed. Diggle just ignoring the damage from the Phazon there, not opting to boost through it. Oof. For a moment there, I thought he wasn't going to check the item down here. Alright, Diggle finds his ice spreader. Not necessary, but that is a very, very nice item to find for the Metroid Prime fight. Meanwhile, Robo is out of Phendrana. We'll see where he decides to go next here. Now here's the question for Diggle. Does he go upper or lower mines? He knows there's an artifact in upper mines, and it looks like he is opting to go that direction. But if Phazon Suit is in lower mines, it is a very long trek to get all the way back there from upper mines. Alright, just a missile. And both runners do logically have everything to check every single item in lower mines. So, it could be a play to make. Or, actually no, I misspoke. Robo needs to find his plasma beam. But once he does, both runners will have everything to check lower mines. And that could be a very interesting play to make here. Okay. Diggle using the single actual legitimate use of Gravel Beam there to skip both the Spider Ball puzzle and the annoying alternative climb you would need to do otherwise. Alright, Robo looks like probably opting to go into mines. But he could also go and check Frigate using the lava pool, or lava lake elevator, so see what direction he heads here. Ooh, and unfortunately, it does look like Robo is heading into mines here, which unfortunately likely means that this is Diggle's race to lose, as he is... Oh, and there is Phazon Suit. Okay. So unfortunately, for Robo at this point, it does look like Diggle's got a pretty solid handle on this seed here. He's just too far ahead of Robo for Robo to really be able to catch up unless Diggle ends up dying to Ridley or Prime here. Luckily for Robo, this does dump him directly where he actually needs to be in order to find his plasma beam. But he needs to go all the way through upper mines first. And given that he doesn't know where plasma is, he might opt to check Elite Research to find it. So it might be a while before he finds it. Meanwhile, Diggle checking to make sure he had all 6 of his artifacts, which he does, and heading back into Talon and likely to ship save from here. Ooh. Robo also unfortunately not having his X-ray visor due to not having plasma beam means he has to find those platforms by hand. Although you can actually see where those platforms are due to the little exhaust that they emit with thermal visor, so you don't actually need X-ray, or X-ray is not the only way you can see those platforms. Alright, Diggle fast-tracking his way to Artifact Temple here. Given his current loadout, he should have no issues taking down Ridley and Metroid Prime. Looks like Diggle is not opting to attempt the flyby skip here. It's just going to wait for Ridley to land onto the main stage before boosting him. Ooh, and Robo is unfortunately making a check into lower mines, so he's not gonna find a whole lot, unfortunately. But given that he doesn't know where Plasma is, I can understand why he would want to make this kind of play. There have been a couple of races recently, namely mine yesterday for one thing, that lower mines played a big role in, so I can perfectly understand why he might want to check this. Finding an energy tank in the maze there. Meanwhile, Diggle very cleanly taking down Ridley, showing him who's the real boss here. Fun fact about the maze, since that just came up. The maze can be any lengths between 15 to 55 squares of odd length, except for 53. Why not 53? Because that's what the algorithm decides. Diggle very cleanly doing the fast climb up the impact crater room here. Very nice, very nice. Alright, Robo not finding anything in lower mines, making his way back to up to upper mines. Alright, Diggle very convincingly taking down the first sub-chamber. He has a lot of experience fighting Prime from all of the 90% runs he's done, so he very much understands how Metroid Prime works and how to take it down very easily. Missing that snipe. You can get some extra damage in between the phases by sniping him as he charges. Unfortunately, Diggle also got the worst pattern for Sub-Chamber 2. Ideally, you'd want Ice first or second so that you can skip the phase that comes immediately after with Ice Spreader. Or not skip per se, but deal a massive amount of damage. Right. Just as Diggle is finishing up Sub-Chamber 2, Robo is back into upper mines, likely going to be finding his Phazon suit, and hopefully he decides to head into Frigate so he can at least find his Plasma Beam. We'll see if he gets the opportunity. He's likely going to check Elite Research, so we'll see if he can make it into Frigate before Diggle finishes here. Diggle having a little bit of issues with the snipes, but with super missiles and ice spreader, it's not too terribly important. Ooh, does get frozen for a second though. Ooh, he does get the ice snipe though. That was good. Ooh. Very nice sub-chamber 3 from Diggle. Alright. Meanwhile, Robo does obtain his Phazon suit and will get his 6th artifact in a moment here. Very clean from Diggle, taking down both of the damage spheres as well as getting that snipe on Prime. Fortunately, Robo is indeed going to check Elite Research before leaving mines. So. Right. A little bit of troll from Prime at the end of that fight there from Diggle, but very good fight otherwise. Alright, so Diggle is going to be shooting at Metroid Prime in a very specific interval. This will allow him to essentially skip phases of Prime, as Prime has a set number of moves it does before it lays down the next pool, and by shooting at this interval, Diggle can interrupt Prime's action while still increasing this counter, allowing Prime to lay down the next pool very quickly, like you just saw. Alright, and Diggle has officially finished with an SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 20 seconds. Congratulations to Diggle. We should be getting both Diggle and Robo into comms here in a moment for some interviews.
Hello.
Hello, Diggle. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That was a seed.
It was a little bit. We routed out the logic. The intended route would have had you take a dip into Fendrana to grab Thermal, run all the way back to Frigate to grab Plasma, and then run all the way back again to get X-Ray.
Yeah, no. No.
So,
what a weird seed. Just like, I felt like the whole time I was routing someone incorrectly. Like, when I came out of Frigate with Plasma, it was just like, ew. I'm like, do I go into Overgrown Cavern Elevator, which I already know goes to mines? Or do I go and get the miscellaneous checks that opened up after picking up bombs in Chozo and go to Workstation and find Phendrana elevators? I think I would have been done a lot sooner if I had just gone to Phazon mines, but I don't know, actually.
well,
I would have found Phazon faster.
well, for sure, but you...
Oh wait, but I already had that on in go mode. Never mind. Yeah, I wouldn't have done sooner.
Yeah, but the plays you made were definitely, like, statistically the right ones, right? Plus, funny enough, despite you and Robo, like, making a number of different decisions, Robo was basically, like, following your trail through, like, a solid 3/4 of this seed.
Oh, wow.
Like, numerous times, it was like, you would do something, and Robo would be off checking something else, and then he would immediately just start following exactly what you were doing. Yeah. Robo also, unfortunately, did not realize he had boost for the first 10 or so minutes.
Ooh.
So he did a lot of extra backtracking and, like, one-off checks that you were able to do with other things. Because he forgot to check for boost ball and didn't get his space jump right away.
Yikes.
Yeah. It looks like Robo is still going. I don't know if he saw you finished or not. He might be opting to finish himself. He also never went into Frigate, unfortunately, so he hasn't...
I have the stream open, he doesn't have Frigate.
Yeah. He had a few opportunities to go there, but unfortunately, just because Frigate is Frigate, he obviously never opted to go in there.
Yikes, yeah. Don't be afraid of Frigate. Sometimes it'll have Plasma.
Yeah.
Uh...
But it is a hard thing to, like, convince yourself that it's reasonable to check, though, sometimes, so I understand why he wouldn't want to go in there right away. Looks like that is the direction he's heading, though, so you should find it in a moment here. Although I'm not actually sure what to do in this situation. I don't believe we've had anybody finish after losing.
We just continue on.
Okay.
They do have the right to finish if they want to.
They do. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say about the seed at all?
Just really weird, honestly. I'm glad it wasn't like the stupid kind of random elevators where you can go everywhere and you have no idea where anything actually is.
Yeah. Although, Phendrana being workstation locked was a little rough.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, honestly. I'm still pretty happy that I came away with a 119. Or a 129. Where did this 119 come from?
Well, yes. I mean, who knows? Well, no, this is definitely a very good time considering how this seed could have gone, considering all the different options you were given.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he's about to get it.
Yep,
there it is. That's his go mode item, too.
Indeed it is. So, looking at... Anyways, sorry. I can't talk all of a sudden.
It's fine.
Talking for an hour and a half gets a little tiring. Moving on to other rounds for this tournament. Looks like we have a race going on in SpeedGaming 1 between InnerSlice and Mings.
Nice.
That started about half an hour ago.
Ooh.
And at the moment we have 2 additional races scheduled for Tuesday at 5 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. EDT. The first one is between Mighty Caesar and Your Beat, and the second one is Mop of Justice versus Sasquatch.
Okay.
You should definitely catch those if you can. Those will definitely be really good races.
Yeah. Follow roboscout and follow Gunner, by the way. They're good peeps.
Yeah,
Follow
follow
Golf, our
DiggleWrath.
tracker, who is always here for tracking somehow.
Convinced Gallup just lives in the tracker.
He might as well at this point.
Yeah, he's done like 5 or 6 races in the last 2 days. Like, big shout outs to Gallup for doing all of that.
Yeah, I don't have the energy for that, honestly.
I don't know if I would either. Ooh. Also, Robo is unfortunately going to fight Prime without the X-ray visor.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
did he see it at all?
I don't know. He probably did because he did full clear Fendrana. But obviously, he's not going to go all the way back for that.
Yeah.
At the point, so.
There was one routing thing. So when I went into mine from PPC, I'm still looking for Phazon as my go mode item. Was like, and with the artifact up in storage security access A rather. Oh, like, so do I just go to OP and hope it's down there, or do I just gamble on it being in like main choir or something? Because it would be a really high upside play if I went to topside first and just found Phazon suit. Oh, it was a main quarry. Wow. Okay, I didn't expect it to play it out like that.
Yeah. Robo actually took a dip into lower mines without Phazon checking to make sure that it wasn't down there.
Ah.
So yeah. I definitely don't blame you for some of the weird decisions you had to make. This was a very difficult seed to route. Like, let that be known. This was a difficult one for sure.
Hey, Starkin. Shoutouts to Ridley being like the most cooperative he ever has been.
Yeah, that was a very clean fight coming from you. And your prime fight was also very nice, although you did kind of get trolled a little bit at the very end.
Of Exo, yeah, just a little bit. It could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, for sure.
I finally remembered how to do my charge shots. I haven't been able to do that for like weeks. It's actually been really bad.
Huh. Robo going for the early boost into Ridley, but unfortunately missing it.
It would lose RTA anyways.
Yeah, because you have to watch the cutscene instead of
this.
Yeah. It is interesting that it doesn't play the cutscene in this situation. I don't know if this normally can happen. Like,
no, I think it is intended to play like this, or to happen like this. I think the cutscene only plays when you do the damage in the air. Like you do that last bit of damage in the air phase. Or when Ridley's flying around. When Ridley's ground, I think this is actually intended behavior.
Okay. I mean, I figure it is, because it doesn't... It's always consistent, it doesn't crash the game, so...
Yeah.
There's something I never came across before I came to this community, for sure.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to kill Ridley while he's airborne, since he's flying around.
Yeah. Ridley, unfortunately, giving Robo a little bit of trouble with his dashes here, but...
Oh, Ridley. Mega Ridley.
Yep. Should be one last round here. Ooh. Fortunately, ending it with a dash.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna cut my stream there, since I'm not doing anything else tonight.
Alright, Robo taking down Ridley.
Nice.
So... Checking the tracker, you guys both found every single major item. I don't know if that...
Other than roboscout not picking up X-ray, but...
Yeah, but I don't know if too many seeds end with 1 or 2 of the runners having every single item.
Not often, no. If you know enough tricks, you can skip a lot of items. In theory, you can complete this game. Like, it's reasonable to complete this game without supers, boost, spider, grapple. Gravity for sure, maybe vary depending on settings. None of the charge combos or visors, like those are all skippable. It's really not all that much you need to beat this game, even for like a medium skilled runner. If you're really good, you can remove a bunch of the items. You can remove some more, like Charge Beam. Well, maybe Insane is a better one for Charge Beam.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Metroid's
Jack and
almost getting Robo
Jill.
some trouble, but
Ooh, nice dodge.
yeah, he definitely did. Oh, does get grabbed right at the end though, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Could be worse. Could have
Yeah,
been 5 seconds ago.
yeah, no. I definitely take a grab at the end over falling all the way down again.
Yep.
I just realized I don't know if this audio is playing. Oh, it is, okay. I guess somebody caught that. So I did not.
Yeah.
Well, since we're just watching Robo fight Prime here, you did a really good job managing your positioning and stuff with Prime. Do you maybe want to explain a little bit of how that works?
Oh, yeah. So there's an AI manipulation with EXO to make him always swipe like what he's doing now in Robo Screen. If you just hang out close enough to EXO, EXO will just swipe at you, and this prevents him. This prevents him from doing some really obnoxious attacks, but also it makes it really easy to line up shots for like Ice Beam and Supers. Although Supers home, so it doesn't matter. But it makes hitting your shots a lot more consistent without charge combos.
Very nice.
Also in Subchamber 4, if you're close enough, it prevents EXO from switching beam weaknesses on you.
Very nice. And it looks like Robo very cleanly takes care of Subchamber 2. So shouldn't have too much difficulty with the last few Subchambers here. He's got plenty of health.
And all 3 suits.
Definitely makes a difference.
Just a little.
Ooh. Missing his sniper at the end there. Gets smacked for his troubles.
Ooh.
There's a nice thing about having supers and Wave Buster. Prime goes much faster.
Yeah.
Or Ice Better, not Wave Buster, rather. Prime throwing a couple extra dashes into Robo's face where...
Yeah, this is Metroid Prime. Sub-Chamber 4. This is what you can expect.
Yeah, that's why the manipulation that Diggle was doing is important. Otherwise, Prime just kind of...
Does this.
Yeah. Although, Robo should finish up here in the next moment or two. And there he goes. Ooh, he might get smacked by those damage though.
Yeah, they don't despawn after Exo dies.
Okay, looks like he did avoid them though.
Yeah, it looks like he's fine, yeah. And runners have died to, like, say, the plasma ones are the one you really have to worry about if you're at low health, because you don't take damage. If they hit you during the cutscene, you won't take damage from the orbs exploding, but you're still set on fire, and you can come out of the cutscene and start taking damage over time.
Yeah.
And
each
die
one
from it.
like an energy tank and half damage or something, isn't it? Pretty high.
It is, but the burn is pretty fast as well, which you really need to worry about.
Ah. Right, so, Robo's beginning his Essence fight. Unfortunately, he, like I said, does not have X-Ray, so he's going to have to try to find Prime with Scan Visor here, and then get as much damage as he can. Due to the way the Phazon Beam works, if you're not directly locked onto Prime, you will not do the full amount of damage. So, unfortunately, it is probably going to cost him an extra pool or so.
Yeah. Or two.
Yeah. He did get a little bit of damage though, so that's...
Yeah.
Ooh, he does... Skipped though.
Ooh. Oh, gross.
Ouch.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a couple minutes.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah, so that happened because Prime was too close to the corpse in the corner there, and when Prime attempted to spawn the pool, his AI believed that he could not, or that he did not have a valid spawn location, so he just skipped that action entirely.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Managing Essence's location is very important for this fight, just because you want to avoid that from happening.
Yeah.
That can also happen if Prime is too close to the walls.
Yep.
But that's less common than the...
extremely less common. I've seen it happen like once or twice.
Yeah.
One of which was to me because of colors.
I believe I've also had it happen once or twice. Ooh, he does get a good bit of damage off of that X-ray pool though, so that was very good.
Yeah, that's key. Assuming he doesn't get pool skipped again, roboscout might get away with 5 pools still.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get screwed over again.
Yeah, he's hanging out on the route of safety.
Yeah. This route does not guarantee that it won't happen, but it does kind of...
It makes it pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it sort of manipulates where Prime's going to end up being, so it does help.
And you don't have to jump to dodge the shockwave attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a rude position.
A little bit. Ooh, is he actually too close to the wall here? I'm afraid he might be.
Yeah.
Oh, he's okay now. He looks like Robo might have dropped it just in case.
I think the pool ran out on him, but...
Oh. Well, either way...
No, not there. Oh, okay, that looked really close. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Robo should finish up here.
Yeah, when you see Fission Metroids, you know you can just unload.
Yeah. Each pool does a little over
like
a quarter of his health. So once he spawns Fission Metroids, he's under a quarter, so you're good. Ooh. Oh, Robo didn't realize you were done.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That's unfortunate.
It happens.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello, Robo. We might have to make this quick. It looks like there's another group waiting to come in here, but how are your feelings overall, I guess?
See.
I really should have checked to see if we had boost ball.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
noticed you hadn't checked for a good 5 or 10 minutes, and that kind of kept you behind Diggle the entire time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was a little funny, though. You were basically, like, hot on Diggle's heels for a solid 3/4 of the seed. And no matter what routing decisions you made, you guys kept, like, meeting back up with each other.
Yeah, sorry for not noticing Diggle had finished a while ago. I
No,
had
that's
just
all good.
been
It's fine.
briefly scrolling onto the SRL window, and apparently that didn't scroll down.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I have no idea if those other guys are waiting for us, so I think it
They
might
are.
be good to end it off here.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts?
Yeah, follow Roboscout, follow Gunner, follow Gollop, and I guess follow me if you want. I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely follow the other people.
All right. Well, it looks like we're about to get kicked out here, maybe. So I'll say
Yeah.
GG's
Yeah.
to both of you. Good night, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you,
GG.
Roboscout.
Yep.
And have a nice night, chat.
You too. Wait, I'm not chat. Never mind. Ah!